If you ever thought, I'm doing everything right, I'm following my diet, I'm sticking to my routine, I'm spending time on my workout, I'm investing into myself, but I do not see feedback, nothing is changing, or everything is way too slow, then this episode is for you. Hello everyone and welcome to the Gentle Transformation podcast. Today I want to talk about those moments when we feel like nothing is working, when we feel that we keep doing something, we keep sticking to our habits, we are trying to reach that big goal, we are trying to lose weight, or we are trying to get more fit, but it feels like nothing is working. It's like we are wasting time, and this desire to quit is getting really tempting. And it's not because we are lazy or we lack discipline or something of that kind. It's just simply that waiting without being certain that those changes actually gonna happen, it's extremely uncomfortable mentally and physically. And in this particular episode, I would like to share my perspective on that question, because actually I'm the one who recently consciously stepped onto this very slow transformation mode. And as of now, I truly believe that in order to get in my life everything I want, I actually need to be slow but consistent. And I want to share a couple of tools that help me while I'm being on this soft and gentle transformation. But at the same time, they keep me accountable, they keep me consistent, and they do not let me quit. First of all, I was thinking about this reason why we need fast results, why we want it right now, immediately. And definitely I was one of those people, probably I am still one of those people who want result right away, or at least as fast as possible. And I think sometimes there is nothing wrong with this mentality, but because I already had those fast results, but they never stick around, so I guess that's something not for me. And at least as of now, I feel, based on more than 1 year experience of being on this gentle transformation, that that's actually my path, that's something that works for me. And when I'm thinking about this idea of having a fast result, like all those videos that probably you also seen when people kind of losing weight in 1 month, in 2 months, till New Year, till summer, etc. And I used to also follow those fad diets, and I was trying to do something with myself in order to reach those goals, because it kind of felt like it's urgent. And I think it's also the part of our culture in general, not only diet culture, which probably contributes the most to this type of mentality, but also our culture, modern world in general, because we are kind of not living in this slow motion anymore. We always move faster, we need more and more, we need this and that. If you are not getting what you want as fast as you possibly can, then probably you are not trying hard enough. And we kind of thinking that we need to push ourselves even more and more. We should be successful, we should have this, we should buy that. And especially when we see all those people in social media, but not only, and kind of we see this idea of success, kind of this perfect picture that we see, especially online, then it's very hard not to compare yourself to others, and it feels like I'm not good enough. All those people have everything, but I do not have it, so there must be something wrong. Why I do not have it? Why I'm not losing weight as fast as they do? Why those people are not dealing with binge eating episodes, but I deal with that? Or maybe why they were able to heal themselves and they no longer have binge eating episodes, and at the same time they lost weight and they look like incredible. Why I cannot do that? And again, we do not see the full picture of what those people did. And what is more important, we don't see the inside work they did. We only see the outside, like the amount of weight they lost, the amount of muscles they built, but we don't see all that mental, that inside work that those people did, because sometimes it's actually the most of it. And as of now, I believe that in most cases it's probably especially everything that comes inside, this kind of preparation, this readiness, that's what makes the difference, and that's what really makes a long-term change that's gonna stick with us, those habits, those life changes that gonna stick around for years and potentially till the end of our life. Which actually brings me probably to the main message of these episodes, and that's something that I'm constantly telling myself once some of my old thinking patterns coming back. When I'm in a slow change, when my progress is slow, it doesn't mean that actually nothing is happening. It actually means that something big and even more important happening inside of me. And those changes are way important, way critical for my well-being than the external changes. Because once I'm aware of what's happening inside, my thinking patterns, my mentality around practically day-to-day things, and if I'm able to control it and change it and direct that in the way that fits the person I would like to become, then eventually outside world will just follow it, and I will lose that weight, I will heal from those emotional / binge eating episodes, just because I'm already ready for that from inside. And once you have this inside readiness, then kind of outside change will be like additional bonus, like something that will happen anyway, because if you are already ready in your mind, your nervous system is ready, then the body will just follow. Because I truly believe before body will change, nervous system should change and should feel kind of safer. Before we see those kilo drops on the scales, we should find some kind of inside peace, inside balance with our physical activity, with the amount of food we're eating. Before we heal from binge eating disorder or some emotional eating episodes, we should come to peace with food. We should feel safe around food. We should not demonize food and have this all or nothing thinking. And before consistency appears, before, in terms of all our habits, what we are building in our life, first of all, pressure should disappear. Because pressure, quite often, it's something that stops us, that prevents us for being who we want to be, actually from being who we already are inside. And once we are able to lift that pressure, and that can be done only from inside, then eventually body will follow nervous system, eventually we're gonna start losing weight because we already start having this internal balance. And unfortunately, it's not something that we can see immediately. It's not something that you see on scale. It's not something that you can measure with a measure tape. It's not something that you can just see in the mirror right away. But it's way important, it's way critical, because all that roots, it's like a tree, you know, they often give this example of those trees that before tree will be able to grow up, first of all, it should have strong roots. And I think all what's happening inside in our head, that's actually the roots. And once they are healed, once those roots are strong, once those roots have enough food, enough elements to feed them, enough water, then eventually the tree that's gonna grow is gonna be very strong and very healthy. And changing your thinking pattern, changing your attitude to many things from inside eventually brings all those good results, and it's way more important than anything else. And today I especially would like to compare body changes and nervous system changes, because it's something that I think especially important at this current stage of my life. As I told in some of my previous videos and in my previous episodes, that I'm now dealing with confidence. I'm trying to be more confident, especially in terms of my body. I'm trying to give my body more love. I'm trying to accept my body as it is in the current form, while I'm still not in that body weight that I would like to be. And I think it's important to start tracking those changes, because typically when we're thinking of body changes, we already know how to measure it. We already know how to track the progress. Obviously, it's a weight. You step on the scale and you see the weight. It's like just you can look at yourself in the mirror. You can try different clothes and see how they're getting too big for you once you're losing weight. You can also measure your body, how many centimeters you lost, and so on. We can do before and after photos, or just like do weekly or monthly photos and see how the body changes. And definitely there is nothing wrong with that. I think those are very powerful tools, because quite often we in this autopilot mode, we forget to track our progress. That's why it feels like nothing is actually happening, even though it does happen. Because sometimes progress is too slow, or just we are kind of not aware of that, we don't see the progress. But once you have certain kilos on the scale, once you have certain centimeters, once you have photos and you can compare yourself now and 2 months ago, that's actually the proof. But quite often we forgot the other side, the nervous system side. And I think what we can measure here, and what probably we should be measuring here, it's how you feel in general. It's about the level of your food noise. Is it like going higher or lower? How safe you feel around the food? How strong your cravings? How often your binge episode happen? How you talk to yourself after that binge happen? Are you harsh to yourself? Like actually the inner dialogue that you're having to yourself. How you talk to yourself, what kind of words you are using when you talk to yourself. Once something happening that you are not happy with, especially in those moments, how you talk to yourself. Are you giving yourself support? Are you giving yourself understanding? Do you accept yourself as you are now? Are you giving yourself what you need right now? And in case you see the progress in all those changes, in case your cravings are not so strong, in case your craving happen less often than before, in case you are not panicking around food, in case you do not have this black and white thinking, in case you can enjoy food without blaming yourself, in case you are not fighting in your head whether you should eat that ice cream or not, that's already a huge progress, and we should not forget about that, and we should not take it for granted. And I do need to remind myself that all those positive changes in terms of my nervous system are actually the signs of healing. And even though my body looked the same like a year ago, or almost the same, inside it's so much different, and I should not forget it. I should keep that in mind, because that's what truly important. That's something that really matters, and that's something that eventually gonna bring me to my desired weight, to my desired physical state, and I will become that person that I want to become. And I think just sometimes body needs time to see that it's really something that gonna stay, that's something that gonna be long-term, potentially till the end of our lives. Because if you, like me, had already hundreds of different diets, you lost weight and you gained that weight back, then your body doesn't necessarily believe what you're saying, doesn't necessarily trust you, because there were many times when you had those attempts to change your life, but eventually you quit and you went back to the old routine. So probably body just needs a little bit more time to start trusting your words, and actually to feel that that's not something temporary, that's not something short, and that's not just a new fat diet that I'm trying. That's something that's gonna stay. Which probably brings me to plateau topic, and for me it was a big thing through many of my previous weight loss attempts. Once I hit plateau and I felt like I kind of stuck, in most cases I was actually quitting around plateau times. And now what I'm trying to do, how I'm trying to change my mentality around that, it's like I no longer see plateau as a failure, because the reason why I reach plateau, it means that I already have done a huge work. And because I kind of reached this new stage, my body needs some time to change something, to adapt to this new reality, to recalibrate something, because something that worked for me before, it's no longer working because of all that investment I did to my body, to my mind, to my mental health. So actually, plateau, it doesn't mean that I'm not progressing anymore. It doesn't mean that I'm doing something wrong and I need to start pushing myself even harder. It actually means that I'm already progressed quite a lot, and just my body needs a little bit time to get adjust to that and to kind of get ready for the next stage, of this transformation. So before, again, because I had already so many attempts to lose weight, and I actually was successful in so many attempts as well, but for a short period of time, because eventually I gained the weight back. That's why I'm sitting here and talking about that. And because I already quit before, now I want to build completely different system in order not to quit. And there is a couple of things that I'm keeping in mind in this term, and actually some really useful tools that I would like to include in this episode. But first of all, what definitely was not helping me to stick to my goals, and what was probably the reason why I was quitting so many times, is this internal doubts that I was not sure if it's working. And I was asking myself these questions: is it really worth it? Am I really changing, or I'm just wasting my time? Am I actually be able to reach that goal and be ever slim in my life, or it's just some kind of illusion that I'm building in my head, but because I've never been like that, it's never gonna happen? And those are very wrong type of questions. I think it's way better actually to ask yourself about this internal progress, like, do I feel safer, do I have less food noise, etc. And also something that didn't work for me, and probably that's something that I definitely want to stop doing this year, it's compare myself to others. And even though sometimes it can be a good tool, because again, if other people were able to reach those goals, they were able to lose weight, I'm also a human being, so I potentially also can do it. But there are so many factors that contribute to weight loss, and about that I've been talking in one of my previous episodes, that I cannot compare myself to them. The only person I can compare myself to, it's me, myself and I. I can compare current me to me in previous year, to me a couple of months ago. But even sometimes I think even comparing myself to myself is not so healthy, because my life, let's say 10 years ago, was very different comparing to my life now. And if I compare myself to myself like 2 months ago, I think it's a very healthy comparison. But if I compare myself to a version of me 10 years ago, who was way younger, who was a bit different lifestyle, who lived in a different country, then it's a bit unfair to compare. And I think in this case, I will be putting myself in some kind of even stress, and that's not gonna help me to stick to my goals. So comparison doesn't really work for me, and that's something definitely I want to stop, especially comparing myself to people on internet, motivating myself by watching these before and after stories. I think at least for now I want to stop it, because I just want to focus on my soft and gentle transformation. So a couple of tools that really help me, because again, as I told, I'm in a very slow transformation progress. I'm still losing weight, I'm still building my healthy habits, I'm still trying to get fit, and I think I definitely have already progress in that. But it's really slow, and I'm intentionally trying to be slow, because I think this time it's something that's gonna stick with me, and something that definitely helps me. A couple of tools. First of all, I need to remind myself that I didn't start for speed. I start for result and for being calm and safe. And especially I need to remind myself at the beginning of each month when I'm actually tracking my weight. And when I see that in these winter months, I was losing around 2 kilos per month, which is kind of a lot on one hand. But on the other hand, it's kind of not that much, because I'm quite big. Like as of now, I'm obese. So it feels like losing only 2 kilograms per month. It's way too less. And it should be at least like 5 or 4. At least this is what voice in my head telling me. But again, I need to remind myself, okay, I'm only losing 2 kilos this month, but that's gonna be long term. I'm saying goodbye to those kilos like for good, and instead of that, I'm building healthy habits, I'm getting new skills, and I'm actually building a new identity. And it's really important not to forget and actually remind myself about that. Next thing, it's all the identity-based tools that I'm using, and I've been talking about that quite a lot on my channel, so I'm not gonna mention here any specific tools. But overall, believing that I'm already that person who I want to become, and just constantly remind myself with the help of different objects, with the help of anchors, with the help of this mentality shift that I'm already her, so I may as good start behaving like her, helps a lot. And I think one of my future episodes actually will be about all the identity-based approach tools that I'm using, and I think it's definitely totally worth trying them. Next thing, it's the self-dialogue, and one of my first episodes in this podcast is about that. The way I talk to myself is crucial because it definitely affects how I'm gonna behave, it affects how I'm building my skills and how I'm reaching my goals. At the same time, it's about confidence. I'm trying to be more confident in so many things that I'm trying now. And again, one of my future episodes is gonna be about that. And it's about self-acceptance, especially my body acceptance. As I told, I'm now trying to accept my body in my current obese form. I'm trying to try different type of clothes for me, different colors. I'm trying new bold makeup, which I didn't do before because I felt like while I'm so big, I don't want to like attract a lot of attention. So this is something that I'm doing right now in order, first of all, to accept the current state. And I think from the stage of acceptance, the stage of changes will be so much smoother, softer, and eventually bring me to my goals. Next thing, it's actually progress check, and it's practically connected with what I've just said. I do check my progress in terms of like physical aspect. Like I told, it's my kilograms, my body measurement, and photos, etc. But at the same time, again, I'm tracking also this inside progress, this nervous system progress. Again, the food noise, the amount of binge eating and emotional eating episodes I have, how I think, how I feel around food. Especially it was a very nice test for me during the winter holidays, especially if I compare myself to the previous winter holidays. This time I felt so much safer, so much relaxed around food, and that's for me really a huge progress. And the last tool that helped me a lot is this idea of changing my mentality, that I'm not starting over and over again, I'm just continuing. And it was like a real eye-opener for me, because before, once I'm trying to start a new diet, when I'm trying to stick to a new physical routine, and if I don't do it as regularly as I planned, it means it was a failure, so I need to start again. Let's say I decided to walk every day. I was able to walk for 5 days, but on day number 6 I got sick or something happened at my work, so I was not able to do my walking routine. It means that next day it's a day number 1 again, because I failed. I no longer think like that, and it's such a relief. So now, no matter if I have days when I skip something, if I have days when I'm not following my diet, when I have days like I'm kind of doing something as the old me, it doesn't matter, because next day is just next day. It's not the day number 1 anymore. I'm just continue. So as of now, even though I haven't lost that much weight, and even though I'm on my gentle transformation for over a year now, it doesn't mean that I started now. I actually started over a year ago, and I'm continuing doing that. And it's such a relief to have this mentality. It's actually so hard to have this thinking pattern that I'm starting over and over again, whereas now I just continue. And I'm pretty successful and pretty consistent with my transformation for over a year now. Just like compare, I'm starting again every single week, and I'm continue doing something for over a year. That's a huge difference. And even though maybe result is not as huge as I would like to see, but just this thinking that I'm doing something already for a year, I'm on this gentle transformation already for a year, creates a huge difference. At the end, I would like to share how I'm personally reframing my mentality, especially around those moments when I feel that I'm kind of stuck, I'm in a plateau, maybe I'm not progressing as fast as I wanted, or maybe I even feel that I failed in something. I'm telling myself that I'm not failing, I'm not staying behind, I'm just learning to stay. No matter how my day is, no matter if my progress is big or low, no matter that I don't see any big and dramatic changes, no matter if people are not telling me, oh my God, you lost so many kilos, and that's something that I always imagining in my head, people who see me will tell me, even though they are not telling me yet, even though I don't see a dramatic drop of kilos on scale, even though there is some drop, but it's not dramatic. Even though I don't see that my size become dramatically smaller and I can opt for a way smaller clothes, even though I don't see these applauses, I don't see these changes, I'm still staying, and that's what's important. My good days, my bad days, the days when I'm able to stick to my goals, the days I'm not able to stick to them, I'm still staying, I'm not quitting, I'm not giving up, and that's important. Yes, maybe I don't have before and after photos yet, but I already have this skill of staying for a long time, staying for over a year, and it changes everything. So at the end, I would like to tell that slow is not bad. Slow doesn't mean that you are not reaching what you want to reach, or it's gonna take way too much time that you want. Slow means building something deeper, building something bigger, and building something that won't collapse. Something that even though you have bad days, bad weeks, maybe even bad months, that's gonna stay, because that something was built over a long period of time. It already become part of me. And that's not something easy to give up. So thank you for staying here with me in this episode. That's actually episode number 10. I can't believe that I already came to the episode number 10. Time flies. And if you have more tools to share that help you to stick to your routines, to not quit your journey, please share them in the comments below, because again, the more tools we have, the more variety of tools we have, the easier it is for us to reach our big and ambitious goals. Thank you for staying here with me, and I will see you in the next episode.